Welcome back to the show, guys. Another episode, another lovely episode of Lay It On. All right, and thanks for coming on, guys. Had a great week. We was up at Island Creek Oyster up in beautiful Duxbury, Massachusetts. Teaming up, we were hanging out. We had it was called we had some friends, some local friends came in, and we had a little house party kind of vibe, a little celebration of extra tough boots that I do with those guys now. We got the little Bradleone signature line. They're awesome. Little teddy bear fleece lined, waterproof, all day bangers. All right, check them out, extratough.com or bradleone.com. Get yourself a nice little pair of those. And then also we were doing these you can't get yet, but we're going to do another push. We're going to do another batch of them with the Island Creek Oyster family. Was the tin mackerel, the Mac Packs. All right. It was a little mackerel, Atlantic mackerel with some sun gold tomatoes, some herbs, good olive oil, good garlic. Yes. And we sold a ton of them. We sold out of them. We did the first batch together. If you're not familiar with Island Creek Oyster, just a really great seafood purveyor, oyster farm, and then also getting into the caviar game and tin fish now, which we did a video. Check it out on Local Legends where we went out to. They're crazy. They built a cannery, and I love that. I've always loved canned food, tin fish, and something that's been popular for centuries before us. Now having a resurgence, and for a good reason. I think it's a great way to capture food, its freshness, its nutritional value, shelf-stable ability. But they went ahead and did all, doing it. It's easy to do at home. All the data's out there online, all the pasteurization. Oh, Louis! Pardon me, I'm losing my voice if you can't tell. But yeah, Louis Pasteur, all that good information's out there all the time. You need to be in there. Cleanliness, use good jars, pack things. All the data is out there. So you can do it at home. But the tough part is to do it on a commercial scale, right? Going through all those USDA loopholes, and not to just be able to do it, cook it for your own consumption, but to be able to sell it to someone is a big feat, and it should be, right? Because you could kill someone, for God's sakes. We're talking about. Anyway, Island Creek Oyster did all that. We teamed up. We made some mackerel. It's freaking delicious. Check out their website too. They ship direct to consumer, which is phenomenal. Some of the best oysters, New England oysters. Some of the best in the world. We'll just say that. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Some of the best oysters in the world, in my opinion. So go ahead and check it out. Get yourself a little Bradleone Mac Pack. Get yourself a little combo. Get yourself a kilo can of caviar. It's on the menu. All right. If you got a big wallet, Bill, go ahead and get yourself some cav. It's delicious. I love caviar. I don't know about you guys, but it's something, I've had the privilege to pop in my mouth over the past, I'd say, decade. I didn't grow up with it or nothing like that. Nothing crazy like that. But I've seen some hockey pucks in my day. Oh, boy, have I. And they're delicious. My God. It's just the diversity and flavor and the complexity of it. I mean, it's one of them things. I still don't really love foie gras. It's good. I know, Brad, relax. I mean, it's delicious. It's like nothing. It's goose butter, baby, but duck butter, baby, duck liver butter, baby. Get that creamy duck liver butter, baby. No, but it's nice. But the caviar, give me that, bud. I'll eat that like an old French king until I get gout. You know what I mean? No, I'm just joshing. No one wants to go out like that. But hey, enough about me today. We're a little late on schedule, so I felt like I could have kept on rambling today, and I'm gonna start rambling more. I think I'm gonna start signing on a little earlier, guys, until you tell me in the comments to maybe dial it back. But I think I'm gonna turn up the volume, turn up the length on the old personal rants. Get a little more off my chest. Yeah. But not today. All right, guys, before our next guest, we're gonna open up the phone lines. All right. We're gonna open up to the callers out there. Any thoughts, concerns, ideas, questions, send them on in to layitonbradleone@gmail.com. All right, first one up today is coming from Casey. Again, if you're writing these in, guys, tell me where you're from. All right. I don't need your home address. Just tell me the state or the country. Okay. Tell me the goddamn continent. Okay. Just tell me tell me the fucking planet. Okay. First question, Casey. let's start this from the top. And I apologize in advance, guys. I'm reading like a child that's learning how to read right now. But let's go. Just bear with me. I read it right. I Ron Burgundy these things. All right. So I'm just gonna read it exactly as how it's written. Okay. Can y'all find someone to talk about any aspect dishes? Those little, suspended in jelly, right? Not my thing. I once dated a guy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I loved his family. All right. Well, that's good. It sounds like it didn't work out though. I love what I learned from them cooking and how to laugh and what to laugh at. Well, you should laugh at things that you want to laugh at. But anyway, I love their stories. But something that will always stick in my mind is the absence or the drama around congealed salad. Yeah, well, I'm with you on this one for first. It was Christmas and the in-laws had flown to where they lived. This is the best question ever. We had an amazing Christmas dinner presentation from bread pudding to homemade sauces and desserts. But quickly, I learned that one meal that was missing from the table was the famous congealed salad. I learned about the congealed salad and forever has haunted me. Finding someone who can make these in some sort of edible form where I can't think of puking would be amazing. Does it? Heck, even one on your show. Casey, good God. That was incredible. Thank you for sharing. I don't even really remember what the question is anymore, but I'm not the guy. I'm not going to do the aspect. I'm not going to be floating, ground up pig nose in gelatin, or isn't that what aspect is, right? Or salads you were mentioning. I don't have any interest in doing that. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to look at it. I don't care if I never see that or eat that in my life again. I think I have tasted it a couple times, and to each their own. Hey. I'm not being judgy. Your buddy your guy who from Baton Rouge and his family, they were into it. God bless them, But you know what, Casey, just Google's a hell of a thing. There's probably a lot of content on there about this, and I'm not the guy. But that was a really fun little thing to read there, and thanks for calling, Case. Today we have a great guest. You might recognize her from long-lived career in cooking, big personality, top chef, the Chew. Okay, let's give a nice, warm welcome to Carla Hall. Carla, welcome to the show. Thank you for the time. You look lovely for an early morning.
I mean, I'm channeling the sun and color right now. That was my motive.
Oh, you mean as far as like color palette?
Yes. So
I
thank you.
love that.
No, it's right. I mean, we're the exact opposite. So thank you for having me. And now I'm just bringing bright, and you're bringing
That's it.
chill.
Oh, do I seem a little down, Carla?
No, you're just bringing chill, not down. It's different.
All right.
Different.
Okay. Are you a morning person, Carla?
Yes, I am a morning person.
Couple questions here. I like this little rabbit hole. Do you do you need an alarm clock?
No. Well,
No.
I set an alarm. It helps me sleep better. I wake up before the alarm, but the alarm is the backup.
I'm the exact same. You know what I mean? Like I said it because we're not irresponsible. You know what I mean? Like things happen.
Yes.
But I too, I wake up like 10 minutes before I need to, like almost all the time.
See, because you've already set that intention in your head. You know what I mean? Like your body, you're in tune with your body. It says, I see you, I hear you. And then it's like,
I think so. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're just creatures of habit and structure in a way as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's enough about our sleep cycles, I guess. Carla, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Washington, D.C. I'm so happy to be at home. I'm at home.
Oh, you live in Washington.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How long have you been there?
I went to Howard, so I was in D.C. from 82 to 86. And then I came back in 91. I've been here since 1991. I've been in my house since 1998. I love it when I go. Last night I was at the grocery store and someone said, "Oh, why are you in DC? Are you cooking? Are you doing something?" I'm like, I live here. Wait, what? You live here? Oh, I still get that. So I love it when I'm at home because I travel so much. So it's really nice to be at home. I'm a bit of a homebody.
Oh, you and I as well. I mean, same. Get to travel a bit, and it's it's a double edged sword. It's
Hmm.
people like it's hard to complain about, but like not really. You know what I mean? Like traveling's hard. It's hard on the
Yeah.
body,
Hmm.
and yeah, it is. It's nice to be home. I wouldn't have. You say, did you grow up in Washington? No.
No, Nashville, Tennessee. I grew up in Nashville. Yeah, so when I see people, when I hear people and they have an accent, I'm like, "Oh, where are you from?" I hear that southern accent, and they get a little defensive. I'm like, "I'm from Nashville. I'm I'm from the southeast." So, and then I'm talking to them, two sentences later, and I'm mimicking their accent. But yeah, I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. Hmm.
Now, being having a career in food and stuff, and I know there's a lot more that has happened in between, like being on TV or writing a cookbook or that. But this was food always something that was kind of important in your life? Were your parents cooks or?
All right. Was it important in my life? Yes. I loved food. I ate. I would eat a favorite thing. I would be into that thing for a month and then I was on to the next thing. Did I cook? No. Was I interested in cooking? No. Is my mother a great cook? No. Is my father a great cook? Yes. I mean, was he at home? No. They were divorced, but seven. So my grandmothers were really great cooks. And so I look forward to going to my granny's house on Sundays. So did my mom. My grandmother was still making food for my mother at 85 for her to take
I
to
love
work.
that.
I mean, that
It's amazing. She couldn't stop.
she could
She
stop.
couldn't stop if she could. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What was dad? What was dad's kind of? What was his vibe? What was his
Um,
cooking style?
so my dad made like a lot of stews. His mom, Thelma, was a really great cook. And so my dad needed to know how to cook. So my grandmother did not, suffer any fools. So if you were living in her house, you were going to be cooking. You were going to be taking over some of those duties. Thankfully, I did not live with her, so I did not have to cook. So
What were some of your like grandma's favorite dishes that you like? What
smothered
was the
pork
things that
chops. She would do like
you say?
pickled.
Sorry, did you say smothered pork chops?
Smothered
Oh,
pork
sweet,
chops.
phenomenal.
Like, right when they're
Yeah,
smothering until they fall off the bone and it's bone in pork chops and a like a brown gravy. And then you would have rice or mashed potatoes. And then she would make green beans with potatoes or greens, like mixed greens, like collards, kale. And she would do a little bit of mustard greens. My grandfather was a doctor, so people would barter with food. So there would be like this ham coming in, a smoked ham from somebody, they would bring in tomatoes, stuff from the garden, like corn. I loved vegetables. Like all my life, I have always loved vegetables. And my grandmother really didn't cook with a lot of pork. I think when you think about Southern food, you think heavy, porky, meaty, and her food was really light. I found that out later. I didn't really know there was a difference between her food and others. But and her cornbread. Oh my God, her cornbread was so good. And it was the cast iron skillet that she would always make the cornbread in.
it's the
And when we went to
crust.
the crust, when we went to her house on Sunday, she would never make the cornbread before we were on the inside of the door. And I'm like, oh, I wish we had a car phone so we could call Grand and say, hey, we're 15 minutes away. Start the cornbread. You know? But she would have that pan in the oven getting hot, and then she would pour the oil in and she would make the batter, and then it would like butter to the edges. And I knew in 20 minutes we were going to be eating, and that cornbread was hot and delicious. And so the cornbread was my favorite thing.
Do you make cornbread nowadays?
Correct. I sure do.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Brad, I call myself the culinary matriarch of this family. Granny's gone. My mother doesn't cook. It's up to me to sort of continue the recipes and the legacy of the food that we grew up with. So I've taken that on and I've given myself that name. Nobody
You know what?
else. Oh,
Good for
dude.
you, Carla, because I see a lot of that dying like that I see a lot of that information dying when over the years of talking to people And, where if someone in the family doesn't have the interest in cooking, and it's always dying with grandma.
Yeah.
And like, man, it's always sad because, it's like, it's not only just delicious food, but it's like, it's bigger than that, right? It's like, it's family culture and memories and smells and
That's it. And I tell people, while you can, while you're whoever is the cook in your family, videotape them,
yeah.
talk to them, stories, because like you said, it's not just the food, but it's how they move in the kitchen, like what they're talking about. Like get used to videotaping them because you have all of those stories that you can pass down. And if it is about a recipe that they have not passed down to you, you see maybe the cups that they're using to measure, you see how their hands are measuring it, and you can go back and sort of reverse engineer that recipe.
Right. Yeah, no, it reminds me of like, and you see it a lot with like grandmother cooking or just like, or even my mom for that. I feel like she does everything with a paring knife. Like, no, she doesn't even use a cutting board, I don't think. It's just like
Right.
over a pot or over a bowl or something. And yeah, I love the idea of just filming it more. It's a great way to kind of document that and share that.
Mm-hmm.
So were you seem like a studious person, Carla, and I mean
Yeah.
that in a great way. Was like high school, that was a good experience
Yeah.
for you? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I graduated with honors in both high school and
Yeah.
college.
Yeah, what
Um,
am I talking about?
I
Yeah.
mean, come on, dude. I mean, but also, I was into theater. Like, I was that weird kid. I did theater, I did dance, I was like tap, ballet, modern. I went to theater camp. So I was really, I think, balanced in my studies and also extracurricular activities. Um, I'm very competitive, so I think what got me through my school, and it wasn't my mom saying you have to do your homework. It was because my best friend was at the top of the class, and I didn't want her to win. I'm like, oh no, I'm coming for you. That's what got me through school. That's actually why I studied. I was competitive.
Well, it's funny you bring up competitiveness because I feel like it's kind of something that you really can't teach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can teach a skill and everything else, but like to have that little fire and like, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, you can encourage it and certainly nurture it, I guess, but like it's kind of there or not.
I think you're right. Have you ever played a game, like a board game with someone who's not competitive? They don't care if they win. Do you want to play with that person? No,
No, no, it's
it's
no
not
fun.
fun.
No.
It's like, wait, no. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
Twister, but
I mean, not even.
not
Um,
even.
and I think in competition, I think it's very important. I think it's good for people, in a healthy way. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of well-rounded, successful people would kind of have the same story there.
Okay, so let me
Um,
tell you this. So I got married to my husband. We'll be married 20 years next year. And
God bless you.
thank you. He had a son. Noah was 10 years old. So I wrote Noah this letter when Matthew and I got married. I was like, look, you have two wonderful parents, but if you need someone else, I'm here. Um, when you fall, I will probably laugh, but I'll also be there to help you up.
Right.
I will never let you win in a game. But when you win, you will truly win.
Mm,
I literally told him this and he kept that letter that I gave him. And
yeah.
it remains to be true.
Right. I mean, I love that. I'm teaching my kid. I have a 9 and a 7-year-old, two boys, and my oldest is taking. We've been playing chess together, and
Great
yeah,
game.
I tell you what, he's never won a game. And like, and that, it's just, and just to go along with what you're saying there, and and I think
Yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, it's just fun to kind of watch the
But I'll bet you
progress.
his strategy when he plays someone else, his gaming is better because of you. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Yeah.
right, for sure. So yeah, so you mentioned you went to Howard. Was that so straight from high school, Howard?
Yeah, I went to
college?
Howard. I wanted to go to Boston University to the conservatory to major in theater, and they were going to defer my admission. So I felt a huge rejection.
Oh,
So I tore my sleeve of theater, and
Boston sucks
I'm
anyway.
like,
Don't worry
oh,
about it.
oh, true, dude. Okay, you are so right. I dodged the bullet. Look, this is when I say rejection is protection. So yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So I went to Howard. I liked my accounting teacher, so I majored in accounting.
Accounting.
Yeah, I did
All
accounting.
right, I like it. Hey, not a bad career choice. I mean,
Not
I
a,
don't know if
yeah,
I, I don't know if I could do it. Although I do love a good crunch of a number, but I don't know if I could do it. But I do love it every day. I don't know if I could do it every day.
yeah.
It
I couldn't
sounds like,
either.
yeah, it turns out you couldn't either.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
did the CPA thing. I took that 19 and a half hour exam. My mother has their certificate. I worked for Price Waterhouse for 2 years, like I think like a couple weeks. And yeah, it just wasn't my jam. But because I'm competitive, I had to take it and end it at that level. I had to get that test, that paper, you know what I mean, in
mhm.
order to
Oh yeah, you were
transition.
gonna quit. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
no quitter. I'm no
right.
quitter.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Um, so speaking in that transition, all right. So no more Carla, the accountant. It's not.
No,
It's not paying. It's not what you want to do. And like
no.
that's a. And like cheers to you for not like I don't know how to say, it, but not. I feel like a lot of people. Hey, listen, it's hard to make that a big career
Yeah.
change. You know what I mean? And like I'd like to hear a little bit about how how you did that. Like what made you want to do that? And food. I mean, I know you're in the food world. I know it's a big, vast one now, but like not the like I don't not the it's yeah. I'll just let you talk.
So funny. Well, my grandmother said to me, "It is your job to be happy, not to be rich." Like that. So my sister doesn't remember it, but my sister doesn't remember a lot of things. But that sort of was in my head, and I didn't want to be 40 and hate my job. When I had worked after Price Waterhouse, I was like, if I'm going to quit, now is the time before I get all the stuff, the trappings, the house, the family, the kids, because it's harder to transition when people are counting on you for their well-being.
1,000%.
So I had been modeling at Howard. I modeled a little bit in Tampa, Florida. I met some girls who were going to France. I was like, bet, I'm going to go there. I had one telephone number of some woman who my mother found. I mean, we're friends now, Rosalind Johnson. But I figured I had nothing to lose. And the time in Paris or modeling was the bridge between what I knew I didn't want to do, which was accounting, and what I eventually wanted to do. And I didn't know that. And I think a lot of people don't ask those questions. They don't do enough. They don't have enough experiences to say, okay, I don't want to do that. And a lot of times it's what you don't want to do. If you figure out what you don't want to do, right? So I moved to Paris. I was modeling, and I say that loosely because it's a really, I had an agency and I didn't make a lot of money, but that's where I found food. And at Sundays, like my grandmother's Sunday suppers, that's when this woman Elaine, who was from Memphis, Tennessee, she would get the models together and they would have like these brunches and they would be making buffalo wings and macaroni and cheese and all these different things, greens that we were wanting from at home, right? And the girls were like, well, my mom makes macaroni and cheese like this. Well, my mom makes it like this. I'm like, oh my God. I eat this every week, at least once a week. I have no idea how to make this. We didn't have the blue box in my house.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. We weren't doing the blue box. So I started going to the American bookstore buying cookbooks, and cooking sort of became the act of gratitude for all the people who allowed me to sleep on their couches. And when I tell you, I went from a salary at the time making $30,000 or so, which in 86 was a lot, right? To making no
Yeah.
money and living on somebody's couch. I was willing to do that over staying in a job that I really did not like because the alternative was that my soul would die in that place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't think that's a dramatic statement at all. I mean, I think that happens way more often than, it's a very common thing, man, and yeah. And I think that's one of those pivotal, those roads that people
Uh-huh.
make or don't, and I think you made a great point. Like, if you did have kids or something, a different life at that time, it wouldn't have been, you might not have been able to. I mean,
Yeah.
not that you couldn't, but it certainly isn't as easy to pick up and go. But it sounds like because you always liked food, right? And it is, I tell you what, it is a great tool, a great skill set in a social scene, especially in a household,
Yeah.
like a home cooked meal, man. That's not nothing.
I mean, even now when I travel, as much as I travel, when a friend says, "Hey, do you want to come over I'll make you a dinner and I'm in Chicago," versus going out to eat, I would choose that 100% of the time,
Mm.
to have a home cooked meal versus going to a restaurant. Everybody's like, "Oh, where do you go? Where do you go?" I mean, I eat out a lot, but to eat in someone's home that they have cooked and they're giving you this part of themselves, that is the ultimate gift. Truly. It really is.
Oh, it's the best. And I'll quote my dad. I butchered it always a little bit, but he said something to me when I was younger, and it just always stuck with me. And I share it often. And he goes, "What you serve your guests is a direct representation of how you feel about them."
Yeah.
And like, take it how you want, but like, I kind of liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can, yeah. And I think that's kind of what you're saying there as well. But I
Hmm.
agree. It's the best, man. And like, I'm I'll say it. I cook, a very healthy, high 99% of the meals in my house.
Okay.
Um, so like, there's something very nice. There's something, and it could be anything. And like, so because I cook and I know you're a good cook, like, do you ever hear like, oh, it's like intimidating to cook, or I serve you a meal, or I cook for you? Like,
Yeah.
just, you can make me like your favorite hot dog, and
Yeah.
I would be
Oh,
stoked. You know what
don't
I
threaten me
mean?
with a
Like,
good time. I love a hot dog. Dude.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Okay. Fruit. You can make me grilled cheese. I don't really care.
Oh, and I don't have to. I'm not. You're gonna put it on a plate for me? Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people find food to be a little intimidating like that, and I don't know. Maybe it just comes natural to us, but I think it's like anything. You kind of just have to just do it a lot, and then it just becomes
Exactly. I mean, I think the other thing is you have to want to do it,
right.
right? I mean, if you don't cook like my sister, it's not her ministry. So a lot of bad
It ain't
things,
gonna happen. Yeah.
a lot of bad things come out of that kitchen. But her husband loves to cook. But if my sister likes a dish, she will put the time and effort into it and it will be good. But the first step is, do you want to do it?
Right.
Right? I mean, you said something earlier, like you get to travel. You know what I mean? Not that you have to travel. You get to travel. I mean, you get to cook for your family. You get to share this part of yourself. And yes, sometimes it's drudgery and you have to do things that you don't want to do. But I think if you find ways to sort of simplify those times when you do want to do it, you can make it a little more extravagant. But when you have to do it, just make them simple, but you get to feed somebody, right? You get to feed their soul.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. I mean, cooking for people is the best. I mean, I always say it's like, it's a universal language, and it has been
Yes.
forever, like music or art or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so, okay. So Paris, how long are you in France? You said Paris,
I
right?
was in Paris for about a year and then I left there and I went to London. So I was in London longer. All of my pictures looked very dramatic and the French were like, "Oh, you look more like an actress. You look more, uh, like a character. So go to France. I mean, go to London." So that's what I did. Um, and then so I was there for about a year and a half. So like two and a half years, I was sort of doing my thing. And then when I came back to the States, my mom was sick, so I went to Nashville and she got better. I'm like, okay, I can't live here with her.
Right.
That's not an option. So my sister was in DC, so she and her husband allowed me to move in with them. And I started a lunch delivery service as a fluke. As in, I told a friend, hey, I'll bring you leftovers from this baby shower that I'm doing for my sister. And she was like, great, there's nothing to eat around here. And I was like, well, if you don't have anything to eat, that means nobody around there has anything to eat. That would be a really cool job. So the next day I get up and my brother-in-law has eaten the leftovers. I'm like, no, this was like my chance to shine. So I just made the stuff over. I made like a curry chicken salad. I made like a chest pie, some biscuits with smoked turkey. I did like quiche. And I just put them in like baggies. I was like, I'll just take some to her office mates. And I'm like, what am I going to put it in? So there was a picnic basket. So I just dumped all this stuff in the picnic basket and I go over there. She introduces me, say, hey, this is my friend Carla. She has a business. And they were like, what's the name of the business? And I said, I looked at the picnic basket, the lunch basket. And they were like, when are you coming back? Tomorrow? And child, improv is my jam. So I did that, and within a week I had 7 businesses that I would go to. Within 2 weeks I had 14. I would take my
Stop
basket
it.
and I would go door to door, hair salons, barbershops, doctor's offices, florists on Kennedy Street in DC. And I did that for 5 years. When I tell you I worked
Quick on
every
the feet,
day,
Carla.
what?
Yeah, quick on the
Dude,
feet. I
I
love it.
know. I know. My
Oh,
life is improv. I mean, like every day for 5 years, I bought a mail truck to deliver in that had one seat. I was the driver. Anybody helping me was sitting on the cooler. I mean, it was like, I, I, I tell people I built like, character in my soul. Cause dude, it was hard.
I would hire the hell out of that. Sounds like a great job too. Little
Hmm.
mail truck, kind of a perfect vehicle.
Yeah.
Were you driving on the other side?
Yeah.
Are they
I
on the other
was.
side?
Yeah.
My dad was a mailman. That's how I know that as well.
Yeah.
Um, that's awesome. So it took off pretty quick. It sounds like
Yeah,
then.
I mean, there was nothing to eat. There was no competition. And the other thing that I thought, well, it was a primarily black neighborhood. A lot of people don't eat pork, or they did. I said, I want to show you how to eat healthy without beef or pork. So I was doing like beautiful salads and fruit salads, and I would have these beautiful sandwiches and all the things that I was eating during my travels. I was incorporating that. I mean, it was pretty incredible. And people still reach out to me like, oh my gosh, I was one of your clients at this barber shop. Oh my gosh, I worked for Love of Children and you used to come in. I'm like, oh yeah, you're the one who didn't like cilantro. I mean, I don't know how I remember that, but right. It was building community. It was also showing people a different way to eat and going back to the light foods that my grandmother served us. Because they were ordering every day. They wouldn't order. I would just make a bunch of stuff. When it was gone, it was gone. And so I had these biscuits with smoked turkey. They're like, "Oh, I don't like it." I said, "I'll give you one." Child, the next day they were buying one. They were buying two. I was,
Little hustler, Carla. That's what
that's
it
it.
takes, man. I love that. Um, so what are you? And meanwhile, this is all. Are you pulling this stunt out of the house you're staying in?
Yeah,
Heck yeah,
yeah,
cook.
I sure did. Yes,
And
I,
how long did you end up doing this for? I mean, this sounds like something you could have taken into like be like a full like 20-year, 30-year career.
I
Like
know.
you could have.
I never had a professional kitchen. I did it all out of the basement. My brother-in-law and sister ended up moving to Houston when he went to law school. So then I needed a roommate because I mean I wasn't making a lot of money.
Sure.
And then at 5 years in, I went to culinary school. So I went to culinary school at 30. And yeah, so I continued to do it. And then I worked at a restaurant, and then I started working with another caterer. I went back to catering, but now it was with technique. And
Right. Sure.
so yeah. So I mean, by the time I did Top Chef, and it's funny when people talk about, oh, I saw you when you first were on television. I was 44 and I
Right.
went to culinary school at 30. I had 14 years of experience cooking. So even though I was catering at the time, I had a lot of experience and I also had that grit. So my life was Top Chef, right? I had already created a job. You know what I mean? I was already
Yeah,
working in the basement, like I was a next level chef, working in the basement kitchen with no equipment. I mean, I lived that, right?
sure. And you know what? You kind of, and I mean this in the absolute best way, right? It's like listen, there's 400,000 amazing chefs, right? And let's face it, some of them just don't have, or you got to have a lot of layers to the onion there. And Carla, you certainly seem to have them, right? Like from personality to experience to grit to hustle to competition. That's the things that really you make the ball glitter, you know?
There was a guy at one of those barbershops. He said, "You're such a hustler." And at the time, I was so offended because I was like, wait, no, I went to college and I got my CPA and, but I was like, wait, no, that was a compliment. And so I thank you for that. I do. If you don't have what it takes to like make it in this business, it is a hard business. When people come into this business because they like a pretty plate, you're not
Yeah.
going to
God.
last. You are going to be eaten alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had some in the world of, I love talking about this with people too who aren't familiar with restaurants other than ordering at them, right? Or just cooking for that matter. I've roofed houses in the summer. I've paved roads. I didn't get into this food industry media until I was almost 30 years old myself.
Mm-hmm.
And, and like working in a kitchen nights and weekends or all day or whatever the frig the time frame is one of the most, it's a very physically demanding job.
Yes.
It's hard on the body. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
6'4", which never helped me in a kitchen in
Dude,
my
I
life.
mean, you had to pile up some glass racks just for your cutting board because your
Yeah.
back was going to be trashed. I had to do
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah. Or
6 feet.
especially, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Kitchens are not made for tall people. But regardless of height, it's a tough job, man. It's,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think people outside of just, the hours and the this and the that, and it really is a physically demanding job.
But I do
So
think what helped me, one, I was older when I got into it. I was used to working what I say a half a day, which is 12 hours,
mhm.
right? I was used to that. But also as a woman, I was tall. So all of my friends in culinary school who were shorter women, they got bullied in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm sorry, as I'm looking down at you, what did you, I'm sorry, what? What?
Right.
Come again? So I also knew that I chose to be here, that I could also leave. Do you know what I mean? So knowing
Right.
that I have other choices, I can create another experience for myself, that I'm not desperate to be there, also helped me.
Yeah, I got a feeling no matter what bucket you ended up falling in, Carla, it probably would have worked out all right. And that's what. So let's talk. I know you were on a lot of on TV for a bit. When did that kind of opportunity arrive? Where are you living at this time? And how
I was living in DC. I
in
was in
DC? Okay,
DC, yeah.
right,
So Top Chef came a knocking. I had a catering company. My sous chef said, "Oh, I had a dream. You were on Top Chef." And I got home that day and I had a voicemail from somebody from Magical L's. And so I thought it was a crank call. So I'm like, I'm not calling them back. And then they called back. They called back. And I was like, oh, it's real. It turned out that a woman from the Don Biscoffier had submitted my name. And I was like, okay, I'll audition. But I didn't even say I'll audition. I'll fill out the application.
right,
And I had to go up to CIA to have the in-person interview because I was busy when they were in DC. And I got there, I went through it, and they asked a couple questions like, "Oh my God, I saw that episode." They asked me about an episode, and it was with Richard Blaze, and I just sort of acted out this whole thing, right? Ah. And then they were like, "Okay, that was it." And I was like, "Oh," they're like, "Bye." So I went back to the train station and I'm like, wow, that was really fast. And I was just sitting there for like an hour. I had allocated all of this time. I was like, oh, let me tell my husband I'm getting ready to get on the train. It was like 20 minutes before the train and my phone was dying. And I said, oh, I have a message. And it was Magical Elves asking me to come back to the the interview. And I was like, oh my God, imagine if I was on this train,
Right.
and I got that message. So I went back and then I did another in-person interview, and then they called me like sometime later. I was like, are you somewhere you can talk? And I was in my kitchen. We were in the weeds. I turned to the corner and I'm like, yes, go ahead. And that's sort of how it came about. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how did that, is this happening in New York? That the show's
Yeah,
in New
it was in New
York?
York, season 5. I was shocked that they asked me. I mean, I was 44. I was a caterer. I think I was a great character for them to throw into the show in the beginning. And I don't think they expected me to sort of thrive.
Right.
Um, but at the time, had also physically, I had run a marathon. I mean, I was in such great shape. That's another thing, like just being physically in shape to handle the back and forth, all the blah, 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 blah. Um, sure, it was kind of amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Did you live in New York or no?
No, I stayed in New York during the show, but I was living in
Sure.
DC. Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah. Hmm.
And then how did you like being, was that like your first time? I mean, I know you're certainly not lacking confidence, right? Or how was getting in front of a camera? I mean, I know that's not just like a friend with a video camera. That was nothing for you. Didn't you
Yeah.
liked it?
Well, I think because I had the background of theater,
Modeling. Okay.
and I
Yeah.
had theater, I had modeling. When they would do the OTFs on the fly with the camera, I was like, they would get you up in the middle of the night. But for me, I'm like, oh, this is therapy. You're gonna ask me a couple questions. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. Because also I'm 44, right? I'm
Right.
older.
Right.
I'm not looking at myself like I don't want to be weird. I don't want to be that person. I'm like, look, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what went down. This is what
Yeah.
happened, and
Right.
then that person over there did that, and this is crazy. I mean, what? I mean, right? So I get to talk to somebody about this experience because we were sequestered. I couldn't call home. I didn't have anybody to talk to, just these producers. And so I would get on there and they would wake me up. I'm like, child, let me tell you exactly how it is.
Sure. Yeah. You had one gear. It was Carla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got it every time. And that's great, man. Um, and then how long were you involved in that show for?
So that was about 6 weeks. And
Hmm.
then I went back to my life. I think the thing that I didn't understand about that show, I didn't know what it was going to do for me personally, for my business. But I had this little catering company, and all of a sudden people are calling me. I didn't have the infrastructure to take on
Right.
the Top Chef effect. So now I
Right.
had
Yeah.
to hire somebody to help me do that. It's different when you have the infrastructure of a restaurant. Even that's
Sure.
hard. So that was, I think it blew up my business, but it also put me in a place of, oh my God, I can't handle my business. Right.
Right.
So
Right.
nobody talks about that. It's kind of like the Oprah Winfrey effect, right?
Right. Absolutely. All of a sudden you go from a very manageable, you might even already be, bouncing in the red a little as far
Uh-huh.
as RPMs and workload. And then all of a sudden you get this boom. It's a blessing. It's awesome, but it actually, it can even like hurt people. It sounded
Yeah.
because you try too much, you get spread thin. All of a sudden what people loved you for, isn't there anymore. And,
Yes.
it could be like a little, double-edged sword there in a way,
That's
or
exactly it.
yeah, or not, or you can maybe, or people seem to also figure it out, I guess, or I
Right.
don't know.
They'll eventually figure it out. I mean, it throws you into the deep end of the pool. So then, Top Chef All Stars came a knocking. So a couple years later, and I was like, absolutely not. I hated competing. I don't want to do it. They called me like 3 times.
Mm,
At this point, I have a manager, and, I had a PR company paying too much for, and they were like, we don't think you should do it because you're trying to create your own brand. And what if they were like, what if you get kicked off first? What? Okay, so then that was the trigger. That was one of the triggers to say, wait, is that a challenge? Okay, then the the executives who were calling me were like, think about what it can do for your business. See, when I went in before, it was just a personal challenge. I didn't think
Right.
about my business. At this point, I don't want to cater anymore. And I'm like, what do I want to do? Maybe I go on Top Chef to say I do something else. And that's when I said, oh, I'm just going to do cookies. I want to focus on one thing. So if they come out and they're like, you have cookies. So that's why I did Top Chef All Stars. It really was a business decision. Um, yeah. So it was more intentional versus the first time.
Right. Right. Sure. Well, I mean, it'd be hard to argue that it was be a bad idea, right? I mean, I think how could it hurt, even if, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
great exposure, and you certainly got some fight in you. So how did the All-Stars go?
So I ended up being in the finals,
Cool.
and then I ended up being fan favorite.
Amazing.
So that triggered being asked to do the chew. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm so mad that you didn't win Top Chef the first time." But how I
Yeah.
live my life and how I reframe it and how I think there are no mistakes in the universe. If I had won, then I wouldn't have done it the second time because of that timing, then there I was for the chew.
And back to my point before about, being the importance of having a lot of layers to that onion of appeal and
Hmm.
character, right? I mean, like, in a way, you did win, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like a road was going to be made from it, regardless of, whether you got the number, first place in it or not.
but that's
Um,
exactly it. Right.
yeah,
People come up to me all the time. Oh, you won Top Chef. I'm like, I didn't win. They're like, who won? I'm like,
they don't even remember. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's couldn't agree more with that. And the Chew that was a cable television. It was CBS or
that
something.
was no, that was ABC. So that was
ABC, yeah,
network.
network, yeah.
7 years, 1,200 episodes. Dude,
Jesus
what,
Christ.
Brad, when I tell you, okay, so this is also another thing. They're like, well, you were on television. Here you have this show. No, I was cooking and there were cameras. I
Right.
wasn't really on television. You know what I mean? I was doing what I do and somebody was voyeuristic with a camera shooting me. So
Sure.
now I'm having to be on a daytime show with segments and talking to the camera. I had never done that before. They do that on Food Network. I had never done that before. The learning curve was so steep. I thought I was going to get fired for the first 3 years.
I bet. Sure.
Yeah. So
Well,
I mean, it was really hard. And I think um one of my friends said, just be yourself. I mean, even being yourself in an environment that is so foreign to you, you don't even know what piece of yourself. You know what I mean? My prayer every single day was authenticity, and I didn't even know what that meant at the time.
right.
I don't even. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is such a, but and I mean, I'm sure it was an awesome opportunity and an awesome thing, but like,
Mhm.
it is a bizarre and unique kind of and modern skill set to be able to kind of do something like that. It's
Yeah.
very unnatural.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it would be for me. I think it would be. I think I would have a very similar experience. I mean,
Yeah, it's unnatural. Even, and I did theater. So when you see somebody and they feel very natural on television and you can look at them and they're running this three-ring circus that you see as only one thing, the food, they are amazing at what they do. You look
right.
at somebody like Michael Simon and he's like all of those old Food Network people, they were trained by the same guy, media trained, and they are amazing
Yeah.
at doing a
Yeah.
demo. Yeah.
Not an easy feat.
No, no.
Yeah.
So it took me a minute. And so finally, I believe that frustration is the ability to do work. If you are frustrated enough, you will move. You will move deeper in by speaking your truth, or you will move out. I chose to speak my truth. I remember the executive producer was like, the guys are better than you are. I see a theme here with me. It is like, and I'm really literally realizing it as I'm talking to you about the competitive edge. But when you say somebody is better, I am like, why? And then I get to work. I do.
Right.
Right. So then I called a meeting, and because there were some other things that had happened, Like Gladys Knight came on the show and I didn't get to cook with her and Michael cooked with her. They made smothered chicken. Where did I start this conversation? What was my favorite dish
Pork
with my
chop.
grandmother?
Yeah.
Smothered pork chops. So here a Midwestern guy is coming and cooking with Gladys Knight, a black Southern performer from Georgia, making a dish that I knew we could relate to. So I said, if you didn't think I would want to cook with her, that is your report card and you fail. If you didn't think that, if there was some reason that I didn't cook with her and you never shared that with me so that I could actually get better, that is your report card and you fail. And, because I was thinking, I'm probably going to get fired. I want to say everything I need to say so
Right.
that when I go home, I'm not saying I wish I had have said. And then he was like, all right, you're ready to get to work. That was the turning point. I had to have the come to Jesus moment with myself. It had nothing to do with them. It was like Top Chef when when I thought I was going to go home. I didn't go home. And finally I stayed. The worst thing that could happen didn't happen. So now you're free to actually do the work.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And that was a few years into
Yeah.
doing this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
after that, you felt it was
I found my rhythm.
pivotal.
I did have a media trainer, Joanne Stevens, who was amazing. Um, so yeah, I found what I needed to make myself better. Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you a little just for a minute about the media training. And it
Mhm.
sounds like you had a good one, but like, what was kind of some of the stuff that you would takeaways from something like a media training on that? Like,
So the main thing is she's like, I want to help you be the best version of yourself that you can be. I don't want you to be anybody else. I did a lot of reading, like teleprompter reading, where she was helping me do it very natural. She said, when you look into the camera, see your next boss, you're talking to your next boss, like that part. You're doing an interview. As in be yourself, show who you are. She said, one of the things was becoming a better listener, like really listen so that you can contribute. Don't wait for you to get in, but like be in the conversation. Don't have a point in your head. And then when it's quiet, you just blurt that point out that has nothing to do with anything. Like there were 5 of us. So I became a better listener. I understood how to be a part of a team and work and give people the space, take space, you know what I mean? It's a back and forth, and that was amazing. It helps me in social situations.
sure.
You ever go someplace and people are always talking about themselves because they never think to ask a question of somebody else so that they can talk about themselves, right?
Yeah. Listening is I don't want to say underrated because I think plenty of people talk about it, but I've found it to be a very useful. All right. It sounds obvious, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, not only is it considerate and fun, but like, it is, if you're just a selfish person, it's also a very useful thing.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you here, even talking to you, you're listening. And so you're reacting. It is like a conversation versus yes, you've done your homework and you have questions, but also you don't sit and wait and ask the question that I've already answered. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a skill to do what you're doing. And I
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
it being on the other side of it.
Oh my gosh. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, Carla. Thank you. Um, in regards to the podcast, I'll put it that way. So how many you did this for a few years after this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So it's 7 years. I mean, and we thought it was fun. We were like, okay, I could do this for 10. Mind you, I had never really had a job, but the last job I had was when I worked for Pricewaterhouse. Like I've been working for myself up to this point. So having a paycheck, is like, what?
Right.
So this was a really awesome thing, but I didn't really make a lot of money. Everybody assumed, oh, you're on ABC and you're making a lot of money. No,
Sure.
I did not.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. So is still living in DC, or this is like, cause you were going on for years now. Is it shooting in New York?
Yeah, I was shooting in New York. So I was living in New York during the week. I was
Okay.
still a resident of DC. I had an apartment. I would be up there from Sunday night to Thursday, after the show. And in the end, it was Friday, but then we would only be filming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? In the end. So I would come home.
Yeah.
And so I had that apartment until the pandemic, so 2020. So I gave it up, even though the show ended in 2018.
How come never did you enjoy New York?
You know what? What do
Not
you
enough
think?
to move there.
Well, what do you think I did on Wednesdays when we had a half a day? I would always go to a play. This
Right.
was back when Broadway wasn't crazy, expensive. It was expensive, but I would do off Broadway shows. I saw as many shows as possible because why? I was into theater. Um, I loved coming home. I loved DC. I am not, I, I like going to New York, but I also like coming home.
You like leaving too.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a little fast for me. Also, I have a lot of energy, so and it's that competitive. I don't know if it's that thing when I'm walking on the sidewalk, the energy just pushes you. It pushes you to go fast.
Yeah,
You
for
have to
sure.
say, why am I walking so fast? I'm not even going anywhere. But
I always feel like, sorry to jump, I
no,
always feel like it's just a red blood cell in New York. Like it's just in an organism. Like you just got to keep the veins are moving and it's like you get into one and you got to go with it,
right,
Like,
you do. That's exactly it. But I'm going to tell you in my building, because in my heart, I am a Southerner. So I lived in this amazing apartment building, and I remember when I moved in, I pretended like I needed cream, heavy cream, and I went to my neighbors just because I'm like, this is the excuse I can think of to ask to meet my neighbor.
mhm.
I didn't need cream, but she had some, and she was a cook, and we talked about food, and she watched the Chew. And I met a lot of my neighbors that way. And we had progressive dinners. We got together. I mean, it was really a sweet little community and experience in New York. So I think behind closed doors, yeah, everybody, when they're out on the street, is rush, rush, rush. But I find that behind the buildings, that's when people relax and they're with their friends. And it's really beautiful.
Oh, I love New York. I lived there for 10 years and I
Yeah.
grew up about an hour away from Manhattan in New Jersey. It's always kind of been my city, you know what I mean? Like it's,
Yes.
um, and I couldn't agree more. Like people, whenever friends or people that visits, it's overwhelming and 100%. I mean, it's a great walking town, but when you're done walking, if you don't have like like a community and a home base, like to like live, it's, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
beauty's behind the walls for sure.
Hmm.
And I mean, on the streets too. I mean, it's certainly a
I mean, it is.
spectacle.
I
Yeah,
mean, the broadcast, all the things. I love all the
yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah. But no, I get that going home, and it sounds like, and I can relate. That's why I left in a way too. I mean, it's nice to have a little. Washington's got a little slower pace. You're not,
Yeah.
it was working for you. You like it, obviously. You still
Yeah.
live there.
Yeah. I love DC.
So that went on for, well, I mean, what, five? It's about 6, 7 years or
7
something.
years. Yeah.
7 years. Wow.
Hmm.
And you said about what, over 1,200.
Yeah. 1,200 episodes. I mean, I think about how many shows we did, the learning curve, what I know now. It's
Crazy. Yeah.
incredible. It's crazy. But yeah, every day.
And then I know you author, right? You wrote a bunch of books, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. I
And
have, 4 cookbooks, 3 cookbooks. The fourth one I've already written, but you haven't seen it yet. But it comes out next year. It's a baking book, and then 2 children's books. Um, and
I love that.
that that was that was a lot of homework.
The kids book.
No, just the baking. The cookbooks are a lot of homework. The kids
Oh
book
my
was
God.
awesome. It was one recipe. That was amazing. The kids book, my latest one that came out this year in October, Carla and the Tin Can Cake Party. And it's about my sister and I going to my grandmother's house in Lebanon, Tennessee, and we would just make up these games. I mean, I was a child of the 60s. So back when they were like, go outside and don't come back till the lights come on, so we were like outside playing, figuring out games. And there's always a recipe. There's always an activity in the book, and just sharing a little bit of my childhood. And I always wanted to do children's books. Every time I say I always wanted to do, Michael Simon said, Carl, you're always saying I always wanted to do, but I did. I always wanted to do all the things that I'm doing. Right.
Sure. I love that.
Um,
I like a kids cookbook. Something that's always kind of, I interests me as well. It seems like,
mhm.
like I said, I had 2 kids and yeah, it's just neat. And it's such an important little avenue to kind of to nurture too. I think it would be a fun one.
Yes.
And it's not as crazy, and I'm sure it's hard or whatever, but like it's not as crazy as like a normal cookbook. You imagine you
No,
have
this
a
is
bake.
like a children's book. It's a children's story with one recipe. It's
Oh,
the age group is 4 to 7, but I happen to like children's books. Like, so for your kids, so do they cook?
my one more, they take interest for sure. I mean, they
Right.
like helping and yeah.
So I think when kids cook, when you give them a recipe, it's reading comprehension. It is also low level things may work out, but they may not, that they get used to a little bit of failure, right? You
Right.
know what I mean?
Sure.
Also science, there's so working with their hands, dexterity. There's so much in there for kids that if kids cook, they will probably be better students in other subjects.
I couldn't agree more. And I know maybe some programs or places still have it. And this is going to sound a little cheesy, but not really. Before I got into what I'm doing or working for food media, when I went to culinary school, I was like, like one of these like dream jobs in
Mhm.
the culinary space was to, and I went kind of deep with the dreams, and I encourage that, was to like get involved on a federal level to start a program of like reintroducing home economics. And,
Yes,
and like I want to be the guy. I want to be like
dude,
I
Brett,
want to
you
do
have to
home
be the guy,
economics. Yeah.
dude.
I make fermentation projects. I think it
What?
would be one of the kids' favorite parts of school.
100%.
And and and
100%.
and all those, to my knowledge, you might want to fact check this, but like to my knowledge, a lot of those programs, and I know they don't exist in my local ones, have all been cut,
Yeah.
and it's sad because it's such a crucial, and if you don't have that at home, and even if you do, like to have it at school from someone that isn't your parents around your peers, it's crucial. I still think maybe my whole career has been it's still, this is the next chapter.
Yeah.
Maybe I should focus a little more into that because I think it's super lacking. And, we spend so much money on so much shit. Like, can't we spend a little bit on that?
I know. So there is a program. It's in Chicago. It's called Pilot Light. Chef Jason, his last name escapes me. And they introduce flavors to kids, putting flavors together, talking about ingredients, and it's amazing.
Sure.
It really, so there are these one-off programs, but it takes so much to fund them that you need private funding. So if you
Right.
happen to be in a school that has
That's
that
the thing.
funding, right? That part.
I mean, I know there's Edible Schoolyard, which does
Yeah.
amazing stuff, and
Hmm.
but that's exactly my point too. Is just like it shouldn't only be for people who are in public school 162, not 163. They're fucked,
That's right.
because like you know what I mean.
That's
Like
right.
that's not it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I think there's enough. There should be enough, not to get all hippy dippy, but I think there is enough. It's just funding and yeah,
Yeah.
it should be a mandatory program
Yeah.
in every school
Agreed. 100%.
because you see the positive side effects. And when
Hmm.
I years ago I volunteered and we did some stuff when I was working with Bon Appetit magazine with Edible Schoolyard, and the kids it was like even the teachers would say it was like some of the best part of their day where they
Yeah.
would grow something and then be able to like eat it. And
Yes.
I see it with picky kids all the time,
Yeah.
even my own. But if you get a kid to like, all right, we're going to go plant this and it's going to grow a green bean. It's not going to taste like the green bean in the supermarket,
That part.
but you see it grow and it starts off, it's this big and then it's boop, 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 and then you eat it and it's a little fuzzy and it smells good. And it's, oh my, like that's it. You know what I mean? All of a
Hmm.
sudden they like green beans. You know what I mean? Like,
And now they're
so,
going home to tell their parents who were buying a limited number of things, "Hey, I eat that too. Oh, I'll buy it now because I wouldn't buy it if you're not going to eat it, right?"
yeah.
So you're changing the experience in the home.
And yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, and the sad part too, like a lot of kids don't have a good home or good food at home. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And any food's better than no food. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we agree with this. I get fired up. I like the topic.
I like the fired
Um,
up bread.
yeah, me too, I guess. So what you got going on now? You still
Oh, let me count the ways. So, I am doing a one woman show next year, a play. I came back to theater because I decided
all
to do that at 60.
right,
So it's going to be a 6 week run, like a proper, 7 shows a week, 6 week run. It's at the Olney Theater in Maryland. So I'm doing that. I have a program or a coaching framework that's called the Me Menu that is online that I'm doing. Like when people are like, "Hey, how do you live your life?" I mined all this information in this play, and we wanted to do a book, but I was like, "Wait, a book." Not too exciting to ask for permission to do something that I love. So I really try to figure out as a group and a team with um, Deb Riegel and Kirsten Bischoff, we're like, how can we do something and not ask for permission? But this coaching framework is targeted for women over 50 if they are menopause or career transitions or empty nesters or identity shifts, like to be supported to go through this program um and something that respects their intelligence and experience. I mean, as somebody who's 61, I am in no way, shape, or form ready to put myself out to pasture. We're talking
right,
about main dish energy, right? At this
Carla, you're gonna
age,
live to be 119 years
dude,
old. You're
it,
not stopping.
I'm trying to be here till 104. My great
Yeah,
grandmother was 103. I'm trying to beat her. Yes, the competitiveness is so deep. I am like,
you got to beat grandma even. Yeah, I
I got,
love that.
I
And you
got to
know
beat
what?
my great grandma. Come on.
I to- I would put money on it that you will.
But I think it comes from having really great choices. We started with this. If imagine what the world would be like if everybody betted on themselves and didn't resent their jobs and loved what they did. The energy, you're positive, that changes your outlook. That means it changes the experiences that you have because you're you are creating something that you want to do,
Hmm.
right? You're not resentful. Being resentful, I mean, I've been through times where I'm like, oh my God, the heaviness of that energy drags you down. So, I mean, this framework talks about this is 6 flavors: open, possibility, imagine, reframe, acceptance, and hope. I mean, imagine your life if you're taking your desires and putting them into this framework. So that's what it is. It's the memenu.com. So I'm working on that. And then I have a new cookbook coming out next year. And
Jeez,
yeah,
busy,
yeah.
busy.
I mean, some stuff.
Well, well, it all sounds beautiful, Carla. And when did you say your show your play was?
June 6th of 2026 through July 12th.
And
Yeah.
what's the theater in Maryland?
It's
You said.
only Olney, and it's called Carla Hall. Please underestimate me.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. Are you ready? You're ready?
Dude, I'm so excited. There's 3 weeks of rehearsal. So we've been writing this thing at two other writers, Lori Kay and Leslie Thomas, since February of 2023. And I'm really excited about this. I built a runway up to it. We talk about transitions. I knew I turned 60, I wanted to be doing something like this. So at 55, I was like, okay, what's the runway? I said to my agent, try to get me as many voiceovers as possible, as many like cameo roles. I hired an acting coach. I go see one woman shows. I build my consciousness. I don't just like say, hey, I'm going to do this because I'm
Right.
Carla Hall. I'm like, what does Carla Hall need to do to get the skill set to change her consciousness to do the damn thing?
I love it. You're
Yeah.
attacking it, and,
Yeah.
and you're and it's that I love, and then you have fun,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
Well, I'm excited, Carla. My gosh, I hope I can come down there and check it out. And
I would love that.
oh, before I forget, I always ask a couple questions to guests. I always tend to forget them, but down in DC, and I don't know why I do this. Do you have a favorite restaurant?
Yeah.
You do.
Hmm.
Do you want to share it?
Okay. Um, Yellow is one of my favorites, and Aldi. I always get it mixed up Aldi or Aldi because of the store, but it's an
Italian
amazing Middle Eastern
or Middle
restaurant,
Eastern? Ooh,
and it is so
phenomenal.
delicious. That's my go-to. So one is really fancy and the other is casual. So if I'm just going to meet up with a friend, it's in Georgetown, I'm going to go to yellow. Homemade pita, sauces, like pickles, like
Oh my
what?
God.
Dude,
I want that right now.
I'm going to tell you are welcome, Brad. You come to DC, you don't even call me. You go to
All
yellow.
right.
Okay.
Thank you in advance. In the last favorite question, do you have a favorite play or show, Broadway show?
Well,
That question
I know it's
sucks.
so
You
hard.
can
Okay. The
skip it.
latest one that I saw was I saw Hell's Kitchen, which I loved. I've seen that twice. I also saw The Portrait of Dorian Gray with Sarah Snook, which was amazing.
Phenomenal.
I love that. But I'm gonna tell you what I want to see on Broadway. I want to see Auntie Mame, like the Rosalind Russell edition. She's like, life is a banquet, and there are too many suckers out there starving. So live, live, live. I
Oh
want
my
to see
God.
that.
Theatrical theater people are the best. I don't care what anyone says. Theater people are the best, man. Do you drink coffee?
No.
You know what? I would have guessed that. You would tea?
I don't drink. I drink water in the morning. I mean, I have my cup of water. That's all I drink. Yeah,
Oh my
I
God, you're
like
gonna live
tea,
to
but I
be
drink water in the morning.
195 years old. If last meal, okay, so the gig's up, Carla's done. You got a
Um,
last meal?
I want a hamburger. I want it cooked medium, not medium rare, which you can't freaking taste the beef. I
I don't
want
want tartar. Medium is nice, perfectly pink.
dude. Okay. And I want it on a brioche bun. I want cheddar cheese. I want the cheese part flipped over so the cheese hits the bun on the bottom so the lettuce, tomato, and raw onions and the pickles don't slide off. I
Yep.
want a toothpick so that when I cut it in half and I put the cut side down so that my bread doesn't fall apart. And then I want uh French fries, 2 onion rings. I want a lemonade and a malted milkshake and a hot dog.
That's it. 2 onion rings. It's all I need.
I know, right?
That's all I need. But they're delicious. But I don't need a whole plate of the shit.
No, correct. You
What kind
see
of French
me.
fries? What kind of French fries?
I want,
Like cut style.
yeah, like I want like, with the skin on, like not
Mm-hmm.
shoestrings. I want like just like a French style double
Classic.
fry. Yeah.
Beautiful. You know what? That sounds great too. Lights out. Carla, thank you so much for your time. It has been a joy chatting with you. And till next time, looking forward to your new books, the baking book. Does you have a title willing to share with that yet?
Carla Bakes.
Carla Bakes.
I mean,
looking forward to it, man. And bacon, that must have been a bear.
oh my God.
We'll save that for the next chat.
Yes, I'm coming back to talk about that. Ciao.
Carla, thank you so much. And
Thank you,
enjoy
Brad.
the rest of the day. Yeah.
Thank you.
This episode was produced by Brad Leone and Carolyn Gagnon in partnership with Studio 71. It was edited by Kate Brunotz with music by Harrison Benson.